So the other day I mentioned that Rocco's basilisk is basically a variation of Pascal's wager, and I figured I would talk a little bit about what Pascal's wager even is. So it gets its name from Blaise Pascal, who in the 1600s presented his wager, which is an argument for why you should believe in God. It is importantly not an argument for the existence of God, but rather one that's just saying that whether or not he does or does not exist, it's more beneficial to believe in him than to not believe in him. So there are 4 possible outcomes here to get through. Now, let's go for the first track, which is saying that God does exist. The second track is if God doesn't exist, right? So the first one, God does exist, and you either believe in him or you don't believe in him. If God does exist and you do believe in him, then the outcome you get at the end is heaven. You get the eternal afterlife, bliss, all that fun stuff. That is the best possible outcome. The other option here is that he does exist and you don't believe in him. Well, then, maybe you get eternal damnation. But, the better option there is that you get heaven in the afterlife, right? So that's all. So you have like the best possible thing and then also the worst possible thing in this route. The other option is that God doesn't exist and you do believe in him. And if he doesn't exist and you do believe in him, well, then you just get nothing. It kind of cancels out, and there's not really anything like bad that happens to you there. You just kind of believed in him, and you luck didn't pan out on your side, right? And the final option is that he doesn't exist and you don't believe in him, which again is just kind of negligible, right? There's no super terrible thing that happens here. And so basically the wager is saying that the best possible option is literally like the best thing that you could possibly imagine. It's heaven and the eternal afterlife and all that stuff. And the worst possible option is eternal damnation. And then in the middle, you've just got this negligible kind of like gray area. And so the argument is basically that you should risk it and choose to believe in God, because if you're wrong in this and he doesn't exist and you do believe in him, you don't really have to lose anything. But if you do believe in him and he does exist, you have everything to gain. Whereas if he does exist and you choose not to believe in him, you've got everything to lose. So that's that's the argument. That's his wager. There are rebuttals to this. It's not particularly compelling to me. I'm agnostic, showing my cards there, so obviously. But yeah, I'll get into some of those rebuttals in a future video. But that is, in a nutshell, Pascal's wager. So yeah, that's it for me today. I will see you in the next one.